Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio. I'm your host, Doug Engler. We're doing a special review show tonight. A anime that I am a huge fan of called Show by Rock dropped their latest season, Show by Rock Stars, in English dub yesterday. So, me being the huge fan I am, sat down and had to binge watch it, all 12 episodes. In English. Finished at about 12:30 last night, so I'm a little tired after a long day of work. And I wanted to give my thoughts on Show by Rock. Of course, first off, I have to say hats off to the voice acting team, the production team, everybody associated with Show by Rock. As you can see here, the wonderful characters that you know and love all together for one show. Now, I've seen the show 3 times in sub in its entirety because I absolutely love the music. Hello to Trisha and Mario out in the chat room. So glad that you guys could come in and join tonight. Of course, as you can see here in the picture, we have Hawan, we have Cyan, Crow. You've got all your favorite bands, including some new ones that didn't really see much in Show by Rock Season 1 and 2 or Mashumai Resh. And really just a great show. I loved Show by Rock Stars. I think it's my favorite season of all. It definitely has my favorite song. Mario says it's Show by Rock, wouldn't miss it for the world. Now, I want to start off with one critique that I had, which I had a heads up. I was talking with Giovanni Cruz last night before sitting down to watch it, and they did not get permission to English dub the songs in Show by Rock Stars, which breaks my heart a little bit because one of the songs in Show by Rock Stars, the last song that they actually sing, I was dying to hear that in English. And I can't pronounce the title of the song. I know it's like Anotecharium or something like that. I am horrible with that. And Anocanatarium. Anokanatarium, which in my opinion is probably the best show of the series. Or the best song of the series. And I'm including Show by Rock's original first 2 seasons in there. Love the song. I think what I really like about it is they mash up every band. Everybody has a big part in that for a huge finale. That's a good point. Mario brings up a good point. Says the Blu-ray isn't out yet, so it still might happen where the English dub. I am definitely going to be getting the Blu-rays, DVDs when they come out for this. So much good stuff going on. And Trish says that's an anime she hasn't seen yet. What's it about? If you go back to the original Show by Rock, the girl Cyan, the cat with the cat ears, the heart guitar, she starts off in the, I call it the human world, the normal world, like Japan, Tokyo, something like that. High school student. She's big into music, very shy, very nervous, wants to try to join the school band, but doesn't know how to get into it. And then she goes home, ends up getting sucked into her phone through a game that she's playing into another world where she meets up with other musicians, and they form the band Plasmagica. And they have some great songs. She's brought into that world to defeat dark monsters. Once they defeat Dagger, the main bad guy in Season 1, she ends up going back home. In Season 2, she gets sucked back into that world, and the story goes from there. She ends up meeting up, and I have the art book here so I can show off some of the characters. And I'll put that here. But you have like all the characters are absolutely adorable in this show. Uh, as you can see here, let me minimize this for now. So you have Cyan in the center here, Rittery, Choo Choo's the bunny girl, Moa at the top there. That is Plasmagica. Other bands that you will encounter throughout the series include Shingun Crimson, they're more heavy metal. I have Darudayu and Zuri Zure. Uh, they are more traditional Japanese. Really, really like it's all different types of music. You have Trichronica with Shuzo and the twins, which in the original series, and I know this is going to cause controversy bringing up this name, but Vic Mignogna voiced Shuzo in the original series. He was replaced in Show by Rockstars by Zeno Robinson. And I want to say that Zeno did a really, really good job. It wasn't quite as flamboyant as Vic's version of him was, but it was, he did a really good job. Almost seemed like Shuzo grew up in this, and it really made it fun to watch. So that also might have had something to do. I don't know. Like I said, I really wish that they had English dubbed the songs because the songs in Japanese are fantastic, and they've done a fantastic job, especially with Mashu Myresh when they had Emmy Lowe, Giovanni Cruz, Macy Ann Johnson, and Lindsay Shepard recording songs, singing together, and just loved the work that they did with Mashu Myresh. Of course, hats off to Megan Shipman, who directed Mashu Myresh and Show by Rockstars. Now, Show by Rock is a Funimation title, so if you are looking for it, you can go to Funimation.com. If you're subscribed, just search Show by Rock. It's season 2 under Mashu Myresh. And to give you an idea of just like how extensive the cast list for this show was, when I say they brought everybody back, I mean they brought everybody back. You have, like I said, Macy Ann Johnson, Giovanni Cruz, Emmy Lowe, Lindsay Shepard. There's your Mashu Myresh. Chris Sykes, you have Hachin, Joe, Sojun, and Yasu. And for those who don't know, Jared Green was just recently announced to be appearing at PucciCon in Pennsylvania, so we'll be able to get a chance to hopefully meet Jared and talk to him about being Sojin from Dokenjo Finger, or as they played around with, they called it Choking on a Finger, which I thought was hysterical. Of course, you have the girls from Plasmagica, which a lot of Monica Rial fans out there. I think that's actually where I saw the original post was on the Rialis Facebook page about the cast list. Of course, everybody knows I was excited about getting a chance to meet Retteri's voice actress and get the autograph. Ben Phillips as Master, who is the guy in charge of Mashu Myresh. Of course, Sunny Straight back as Maple. Rachel Robinson as Angelica. They've done a fantastic job. Sunny Straight is just fantastic as Maple. I have to go off on a tangent on this real quick. Getting a chance to meet Sunny and talk with him a little bit about the character, he really just puts his whole personality into Maple, and it's hysterical. I love the work that he's done it as Maple, and big thank you to him for drawing a little Maple on the autograph that we got from him. Frank Torado, Todaro as Zipe. I'm not going to spoil too much. Zipe is a dark monster that appears in Show by Rockstars. Of course, Dagger makes the appearance, and then you've got Shingun Crimson, of course, comes back. Our friend Michaela Krantz, and everybody from Pretty Krista, and it just keeps going on through all the names. Morgan Berry, Jade Saxton, Stephanie Young as Darudayu. So you can see all the names here That is a huge, huge list of cast. And of course, at the bottom here, like I said, hats off to Megan Shipman for the directing job that she did, and hats off to Sound Cadence Studio. They've gotten a lot of really awesome titles that they've been working with lately, and so excited to see all the good stuff going on with Sound Cadence, and looking forward to seeing more stuff. Trish asked, "Do you have to pay for Funimation?" It is a pay. It's like a Netflix for basically. Figure it's Netflix for anime. They have a lot of really good titles. It's probably like $6-7 a month or so. It's not horribly priced, especially especially when you look at the grand scheme of like cable, things like that. I pay less for High Dive, Crunchyroll, Funimation combined than I ever would have for cable. And we even have the Disney Plus bundle, and we did have Netflix. So it's pretty good. And the cool thing about like Funimation is they've got hundreds of titles that are English dubbed. So if you're not big into watching it subtitled, if you don't want to sit there and read for whatever reason, I know a lot of our listeners, a lot of anime fans are huge into the subtitles. Like I said, I watched Show by Rock Stars 3 times in I watched it 3 times in sub all the way through before it got dropped as dub, and of course I had to sit down and binge it last night. And Mario says I literally pay more for internet TV compared to all the anime services combined. It's true. Like High Dive's $5 a month. Crunchyroll, I think maybe 7 or 8 if you get the premium, or I think like top tier Crunchyroll might be $11 a month, but isn't bad. Same thing with Funimation. Really, they're not bad when you even put them together. You're looking at less than like $20-25 for through all the anime you could really want. For the most part, yes, there are some that didn't get picked up by any of those big ones. Hulu's got some of their own exclusives. Netflix has exclusive stuff. But back on the topic of Show by Rock, just everybody just gelled so well in this series. Like I said, my only gripe was that the songs weren't English dubbed, but understandably so. That is really, really difficult. When you think about the licensing and everything that goes on, the fact that Show by Rock seasons 1 and 2 and Show by Rock Mashu My Resh all got the permissions to English dub every song from opening to ending and everything in between is amazing. And there is so much that goes on behind the scenes for that, for casual anime fans who may watch a show like K-On! Or Love Live, and every song is Japanese, even though it's English dubbed. But you have to do translations, send the lyrics for permission, make sure that they get approved by the studio, the original Japanese studio. They have to record it and make sure that the recording is approved. And a lot of back and forth, a lot of things that are, a lot of things that go behind the scenes to make sure that it happens. And a lot of shows just don't put the effort out there, for whether it's not an important thing in the show, or they can't get it right to where they get the permission. Or in some cases, Japanese culture is very different from American culture. Some of the stuff they may not want us to Americanize or English dub for whatever reason. So it's very difficult to get the permissions and to get the authorizations to dub the songs and things. So the fact that they got 3 seasons of it is fantastic. I'm not going to say it was horrible because the songs were Japanese. No, I love the songs in Japanese. In some cases, the Japanese songs sound better than the English dubs versions of them, but I love them both. And to get a little bit on the storyline, and a warning right now for those of you who have not seen Show by Rockstars, I am going to put a couple of spoilers in there, but it's not really going to ruin your experience for the show. But it starts off, the Mashumaresh girls are going to Midi City for a big festival. No surprise there, big music festival they want to try to get a part of. They're an up-and-coming band in Under Nosawa, started gaining some popularity, their street performances were getting bigger and bigger crowds. They decided to, their manager decides to contact his old friend Maple and send the girls to Midi City and have Maple from Banded Rocking Records keep an eye on them while they were in town. While on the way to the meeting place, they end up getting chased by Zippe, a flying speaker that shoots beams and tries to attack them. For those of you who have not seen Shobai Rock Mashumaresh, Delmin is part of the Devilment tribe. She's got horns, and she can shoot beams out of her head, which is awesome. That being said, she ends up shooting at Zippe. He goes flying into the big tower, which looks, to give those of you who may not have seen it an idea, kind of looks like the Space Needle. He crashes into that. It comes tumbling down, tons of damage. The girls show up to the scene of where they're supposed to be meeting with Maple and Banded Rocking Records, just to be surrounded by police and arrested. End of episode 1. Episode 2 is the trial. They try to figure out, are they guilty? Are they innocent? They bring in this wacky lawyer who doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing, and then pulls out a miracle at the end. And a lot of goofiness ensues in that episode. They finally get to realize that, okay, well, here's Maple and Plasmagica who were at the courtroom, and they get back to Banded Rocking Records. Himiko, voiced by Giovanni Cruz, is a huge Rudy Krista fan. Rudy Krista is contracted by Banded Rocking Records. When she makes the connection, she freaks out, which is hysterical. As the season progresses, they bring back, you see Plasmagica perform. You hear songs from Shingun Crimson. Of course, Dokken Joe Finger and Shingun Crimson have their filler arc episode. I want to say, I think that was episode 4. Episode 5, you see the return of Daru Dayu and Zure Zure. Trying to remember. Episode 6, I think Arik Effect comes in, and they have a tournament. There's a tournament arc in one of the episodes where a lot of the girl bands, Plasmagica, Mashumaresh, Pretty Krista, I forget the name of that other one. Bud Version Logic and the main girl, like the rival band from Mashumaresh, all have to compete in like a track and field style games and stuff. And you also have where Mashumaresh goes to a Pretty Krista concert. Plasmagica ends up going to a Trichronica concert with Dokken Joe Finger. And for that one, Trichronica is starting a year-long universe tour where they travel around the Midi City, or the music universe that they're in. And while performing their concert, the ship takes off, causing the other two bands to go into a panic. Eventually, they find escape pods, which they end up taking. Thankfully, Plasmagica has Moa, who's an alien and knows how to fly things. Unfortunately, Dokken Joe Finger doesn't have anybody who knows how to fly. So they had a bit of a rough landing. And the last couple episodes lead up to everybody gets accepted into the MIDI Rock Love Rock Festival. And in true Plasmagica fashion, they oversleep the day of the event. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Mashumaresh, and you will see why that's relevant, because they have a habit of doing that. They end up getting ready to perform. They're one of the first bands to go out. As they start their song, Zippe makes an appearance, shoots a beam out, basically attacking Mashumaresh. Hawan gets hit. She's down for the count. She's basically knocked unconscious. everybody else is worried. She ends up going to the doctor, or the medical area, to get checked out. The other bands have to go perform and everything. Eventually, Howlin wakes up from recovering from the shock and everything, and all I can say is, like, as I said before, Anothecarium, and I know I'm pronouncing it horribly wrong, but that song is amazing, especially when you watch the anime and you see them all perform. And of course, it starts out with just Masha Myresh, and then Howen, or actually Masha Myresh, gets joined by like the lead singer or one of the lead singers from every other band in the festival to sing that song together. And I think that's why I love it so much. I think that's why it's not just a great song. Like, you can find it on YouTube, and you can hear the song for yourself, but it is just fantastic. Just absolutely love that song. And Show by Rock in general, like I said, it's taken years. In fact, 2021, 2022 has been the year that has been a couple years where anime has killed it with a lot of the things. Like, I've had top 10 lists or top 5 lists that I've done in the past. Like, Rosario Vampire has been a top of like my number one favorite anime for years. Going way back to when I went through a divorce and things like that, it was the first anime that welcomed me back. And I can honestly say Show by Rock, the franchise, that's all the seasons, especially the boost from Masha Myresh, has taken the number one spot. It is my number one favorite anime because the characters are adorable, the music is fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough good stuff about the Show by Rock franchise. And Misere, since Rosario Vampire, had always been like my number one waifu, and Marian from Dress Up Darling has bumped her out of that spot. I don't care what anybody says. Marian is best girl of winter 2022, and I put it on the line last week when I said Marian is probably, in my opinion, going to be best girl of 2022 all year. It's going to take somebody really special to knock her out of the top spot, in my opinion. Now, I know, like, Crunchyroll Awards and stuff, it turns into a popularity contest. Saw a video about that recently. Giga talking about the winners of Crunchyroll Awards and stuff, and a lot of Demon Slayer stuff, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan. So you can see that it's popularity. People probably don't even know what they're voting for. They just say, "Oh, I know that title," and they click the button. Where there are probably and I know there are so many other fantastic animes out there that just don't get watched because they get pushed aside because everybody wants to see especially the big shonen titles like Attack on Titan or My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. Those are like the big ones that are out there right now. But that being said, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. This is just going to be a shorter show. Really fantastic job by the entire cast and crew and everybody behind the scenes who produced, directed, voiced, and even the creator of the Show by Rock franchise, especially Show by Rock Stars. Thank you. I loved it. I hope that this gives you guys out there, if you haven't seen it, makes you want to go and check it out because it really, really, really is a fantastic anime. Especially if you're into the music animes. Also, we want to remind everybody that Anime-Zing Radio is doing our weekly show tomorrow night, Saturday night. We have a fantastic guest. Ben Ackley is going to be joining us talking about cosplay, conventions, and much, much more. It's going to be fun to talk with Ben. So definitely, I hope you join us for that. Then we're going to be, we're not going to have the live show Sunday night. We're doing it tomorrow night instead because I'm not going to be around Sunday night. And then we'll return back to our normal Sunday slots next week when we welcome Danny Chambers to the show. We're going to be bouncing into the voice actor realm for a couple of weeks in a row. Also, we want to let everybody know that if you are in the New England area, check out Northeast Comic Con the weekend of March 11th, 12th, 13th in Boxborough, Massachusetts. We will be on hand. I am really excited that I'm going to be joined by our co-host Angela, um, and it's going to be her first time to Northeast Comic Con. Absolutely love the show. Big hats off to Gary. He always puts on a great show. They've got some fantastic guests that are going to be there, including Tara Reid, which if you remember American Pie, she was in that. I think she was in Sharknado and a few other things as well. And I'm trying to pull up the guest list for. We have Candy Clark is going to be there. Vernon Wells, Nicole Kang, who was Poison Ivy. So a lot of really, really cool stuff. I'm trying to see if they have a guest tab or not. A lot of talented artists are going to be there. Let's see, who do they have for celebrities? Like I said, Tara Reid, Nicole Kang, Vernon Wells, Candy Clark. The Harp Twins are going to be there. Jeff Klein, Guy Gilchrist, Joe St. Pierre, Keith Williams. So many more. Like there's a whole full page here of really, really cool people. So if you are in the Massachusetts area, if you're in southeastern New England, go check out Northeast Comic Con. It's going to be March 11th through the 13th at the Boxborough Regency in Boxborough, Massachusetts. Gary always puts on great shows. It's actually a convention that I got married at, so we have a lot of respect. And it's going to be fun because it's my first time back to NECC since we moved to New York. So it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. Until tomorrow night when we welcome Ben Ackley to the show, and I'm going to be joined by Darren Sterling, our awesome co-host. I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. If you are in any of the snow-affected areas, drive carefully. I know today was absolutely horrible up here. We got probably about 10 inches of snow dumped on us today, and driving home from work was disgusting. So stay safe out there. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying us or joining us for a nice short little half-hour chat about the show by Rockstars. Again, thank you to everybody who was a part of it. Loved the series in sub and dub, and looking forward. Hopefully there'll be more. I don't know if it's going to continue or not, but I'm definitely looking at getting the Blu-rays when they come out. So until tomorrow night, have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you right back here on YouTube for Anime-Zing Radio.